Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the StarCraft 2 World Championship Series Challenger Europe Edition. I'm Nathanius, joined by the best-dressed man in StarCraft. How does it feel?
It feels great.
You look good.
Thank you. You too, Nate.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to butter me up. It's fine.
What am I supposed to do, Nate?
One guy in the chat. One guy in the chat said I look better than yesterday. So I'm. I mean, you made my day, Lorax, or whatever your name is. Shout out to you, brother.
Yeah.
But we got a winners match coming up. There's been an interesting group. A lot of cheese.
A lot of cheese, as expected of.
Do you think Drogo is going to cheese HeroMarine?
I'm not sure. I feel like Petite is not big.
Oh, but
Gabriel.
But Gabriel Sagat is big. That's
weight class wise, we're not looking too good for Drogo here. However, he has been performing pretty well. Pretty great. Best shape of his life, perhaps.
I mean, have you seen his Instagram? Drogo's been. I think he's been hitting the treadmill a lot. He's looking slim. Do you see the photo that we have for him up too? Like he's looking good.
Oh, he's a great looking man.
Yeah, he had the facial hair most of his esports career, but when I see him with
he was
like,
saying
damn.
He was saying he gets really upset when they say that when people say that Showtime is the best looking StarCraft player.
Well, you know, Drogo's kind of got like that. You know, you look at him, you're like, this guy would be popping the bottles on the yacht, right? But Showtime's a bit more of like he's the guy that's probably reeling in the big bass on the side of the yacht. Like he's the guy that's going fishing shirtless, and he's like, I've got something to cook for all of us.
Yeah.
And then he just fires it up on the grill right in front. Doesn't even care if the.
What would HeroMarine be doing in that yacht? He
would be wearing probably a 12,000 euro suit, sitting on the top deck.
Yeah.
Sipping a mojito, lean back in his chair, and he'd be like, it's like, oh, it's so good to be on top. These other casters and players don't have the MMR to sit up here. There'd be like a gateway bouncer watching it. We should probably talk about this game because stuff's already happening. Okay, so in the bottom right we had Drogo. Hi. I was getting really into this story, but of course Gabriel had to be the one cheesing. Speaking of
Gabriel
cheesing,
is the one cheesing up in the top left-hand side of the map as the blue cheeser. Let's just can we zoom in on his barracks instead at this point?
Yeah.
Let's do the intro here.
Yeah. But anyway, the top deck of his yacht, you'd have to show your BattleNet account and your MMR, and if it was more than 200 below his, you wouldn't be allowed in. You're allowed to come in if you're a little bit below him, because obviously it's hard to be above Big Gabe in MMR.
Can you even see him or?
Well, to talk to him, oh no, I think he has to
yell at him.
He has to invite. He has to invite you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a closed off. He has a nice view somehow, though, like a window of some sort.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Both players scouting each other here, which is gonna be a little bit late, I guess, for what's going on right now, because there's a bunker going down. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday. He's probably looking to apply enough pressure that it forces out units early on, but ideally kills the Nexus, yes?
Yeah, that's... this is quite a bit more committed, right, than just like your average kind of like meme play when you think about proxy barracks. I think about like Future's game yesterday. This is quite a bit more than that since it's 2 racks Marine.
What was that move with the Marines? What was he thinking when he went up that ramp?
I think he was trying to catch the Zealot if it was on top.
Which
or
it
maybe
was,
if something was being built. Yeah, the Zealot ran off, so he
spicy.
Ooh. Now he does have a factory building at home, and he lifted both barracks. So my assumption is he's going to go straight into, I want to say Cyclone, because it gives him the most mobility.
Well, Hellions,
Siege,
right? Hellions would be the most mobility.
Yeah, but Hellions suck versus Protoss.
They sure do, but when the bases are this spread,
yeah, but he's on one base. Like he's not running. He's not going to run Hellions into the main.
All right.
Hellions are the most underwhelming unit.
But when you look at this main and you're a HeroMarine, do you think there's an Nexus somewhere else, or do you just think he's proxying something?
For sure, something must be being proxied. Look at what do we know? There's 2 pylons, and generally the Protoss has a hard. You need another pylon.
Right.
There's no tech. Like what Protoss wouldn't have like a tech already up at this point if they were going to
especially with 2 gases too.
So, you know, Big Gabe should be asking himself questions.
Where am I getting proxied?
Hey, he canceled the tech lab that he was building on his factory, and he just went straight to a Widow Mine, and he's getting a medevac. This makes me a little nervous, actually.
Well, he scouts the lack of a robo or starport at the main. So
he recalls probes to the ninja base. He's got the Dark Shrine, and his robo is just about done. So...
HeroMarine didn't see that, though, right?
No.
Okay.
This could be weird. I mean,
it is weird.
He could just lose to the DTs, right? If he doesn't have a scan, because he's not getting a Raven, and the Warp Prism is on the way. I like that, though. Try to run the Marine away, buy as much time as possible. He gets the salvage. Look at that, 75 minerals back. Is that fair, Cats? Do you think you should get interest? Like, don't you think that the value of minerals depreciates over time? Like, an individual mineral is worth less over time, so the bunkers should give you more if you invest early minerals?
No, because the materials decay, right? Like, who's gonna give you a full refund? It's already used.
Oh, that's true. The value of a bunker drops by like
he's found
30% once
by
you take
mistake.
it off
He's
the
found
lot.
it. Nathaniel
And he accidentally finds the ninja base.
Yeah, but he's
and
not
the Dark Shrine.
He didn't care about it though. He's just gonna run through it to the main. At some point, he's gonna realize and probably turn around.
Doing this. This was part of my strategy to ignore your ninja base and lose my.
Oh my God! No! Big Gabriel!
Oh,
what is going on today?
Now that's what I call yikes.
That's a big yikes. I mean, he didn't see the base,
It
which
could-
is, you know,
couldn't
it's
have
not like a
gone worse.
proxy.
He
It's not like a
flew-
pylon, you know?
Yeah, but the thing is, he recalled probes, so it's not even like it was just a ninja base. It's fully saturated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, land the Viking. Do it. Vikings kill probes in 2 hits. Do it.
Still hasn't seen it.
Do it.
Okay, DT's now causing havoc here.
And kills one of them.
Is there more scans available?
And now he's gonna get a Raven.
There's no more scans.
Nope. He's got the turret building at the front.
Drogo will not be looking to capitalize on this, but man, he's getting a sizable advantage of what's been going on here.
I can't believe he didn't land the Viking on that base. He could have forced units to be warped in or a recall, but instead he continues to warp in very aggressively.
Yeah.
Might just kill him here. He's got charge. He has charge.
Oh no.
I think. Oh, good God. This is gonna be messy.
Still hasn't spotted it either. Nothing getting in position. A few SCVs will go down. Great reaction by Big Gabe. Only one SCV goes down. Tank fire will shelter the rest of it.
In this situation, even stuff like these few depots are really big. And, well, I mean, the Raven is out, so losing the turret doesn't completely screw him here. But
Yeah, lots of anti-air units, though. That Raven could be focused down.
Yeah. And charge zealots, man.
They are powerful.
Especially, they make siege tanks bad.
Oh, a little bit of a mistake on the Warp Prism, however. So, I mean, if the Warp Prism was still alive, I guess...
GG, Drogo takes game 1.
Yeah, very...
That's one of the most awkward StarCraft 2 games I've ever seen.
Most definitely.
He flies a medevac with 3 mines over a base that has nothing except for 16 probes in the Dark Shrine.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't unload any of them, flies into 3 stalkers, loses the medevac with everything in it.
I was sure he was about to turn around for the base. And then I thought, well, the stalkers will surely poke it, and then he'll realize, go turn around for the base. But he let the spokers, the spokers...
The spokers. He let the spokers go.
He let the spokers do it. That was...
That's no bueno. No bueno. So Big Gabe's boat has been rocked. And when you're on the top deck, you feel that a lot more, trust me. So let's see if he can bounce back in game 2. We're going to Acropolis.
He's got to recompose. I mean, if I was Big Gabe, I would honestly ask for a little break there, because those games just.
Oh, I'd be. It's so silly though, because it's like it's totally his fault as well.
Oh yeah.
Like this isn't one of those games where you're like, oh, I didn't scout to ninja base. I didn't know. It's like no, you saw everything.
Everything.
You're driving down the street. You're like, oh yeah, I see that ninja base. Like, nah, I'm gonna keep going this way. You just go off a cliff. Like, okay, I mean, you could do that. Should you? I don't know.
It's a little questionable for sure. I mean, and the
Questionable
game
to say
started
the
well for him,
least.
right? Like the 2 barracks did their job with just a 4 Marine investment.
I'm just gonna say that what happened was he's going down, and there was a perfectly fine intact bag of Cool Ranch, and he was like, I want the nacho cheese, and he went for it, and he lost big because of it. And that's my official analysis of that map. The proxy, by the way, did great. Not scouted, gets a Nexus cancel.
Yeah.
And you already said it. He floated the barracks in. There's nothing in the main base, and there's only 2 pylons. For him to have that many probes, a Nexus gives you 14 supply, right? Or is it maybe 15 for the Nexus? And 2 pylons with the Stalkers and Zealots he had. It's like, no, there's a pylon somewhere.
I mean, he knew. He decides to go for the Widowmine drop, and that was all fine, I think, right? Like it's fine up until this point.
Yeah.
Like, he must know that there's some tech proxied, maybe not a base.
Yeah, he still got blindsided a bit by the DT. Like, the DT still did some good work, though. Like, I think he should have gone straight for the Raven, but how could I possibly hope to understand Big Gabe?
It's a difficult task to ask of anyone.
Yeah, he's only like 10,000 MMR higher than me, so. I shouldn't even be allowed to mention his name. Cannot commentate me unless you're close to my rank. In the bottom right, the Red Protoss leading this series. I'm sure chat's having a field day with this one. He is Ptitdrogo. He tweeted, by the way, that he thought he was screwed in this group.
Really?
He's like, my PvP is bad, and I have to play versus Big Gabe.
Versus who, you say?
Big Gabe!
Excellent. Excellent.
I hope the guitar riff played on stream there or something, because I feel like the weight of that, the gravitas might have been lost a little bit without that sound effect.
Okay, so quick scout here by Ptitdrogo. Nothing too out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
No proxy Rhinos this time around.
No, thank God.
Is that a good thing? I like proxies. I like the spice.
You're right. You're right. I like the spice. I don't know why I'm saying that. The real reason why, of course, we're passionless commentator, where if all the players cheese every game, then we get to go home earlier, and then I can watch football for the rest of the day.
All right. Well, that's not what anyone here wants.
That's not what anyone here wants. No.
This is true.
Ideally, this turns into a mass battlecruiser map where they mine it out completely, and we see 17 BCs tactical jump behind an armada of carriers, and it's beautiful.
That doesn't pan out too well for the carriers, right? You're just Yamato.
Well, if you're building carriers versus a guy who builds battlecruisers, you've already lost. So.
All right. So quick expansion on both ends. It is not super common to see the Terran expansion drop first, or am I completely off here?
Well, he didn't drop it first.
Oh, okay.
But you're wrong. You are right, actually. The Terran shouldn't expand before Protoss. Generally speaking, no.
All right.
Protoss only expands. This was actually one of the breakdowns I loved doing about the proxy meta last year, as we have a Robo opening. It was one of the best things about it is because, if you think about it, why do you morph the orbital command as soon as you can?
So that you gather more energy.
Yeah. Same principle for building a Nexus, right? So the earlier you get the Nexus, not only obviously do you build probes, but the value it generates in the form of its energy just starts sooner,
right?
You know? So one of the big things about that proxy meta wasn't even just that you're delaying the base a little bit, you're delaying the chrono boosts as well. So that second or third chrono boost onto the probes is what puts the Protoss ahead of Terran on workers. And as you can see, in a normal game, Drogo is up right now about 6 workers. That's literally just how matchup works.
Right.
Because you have to spend 25 seconds morphing each command center into an orbital, which is close to the build time of 2 SCVs. So just the time to make the orbitals on both your bases puts you behind 4 SCVs, which is made up by a mule and a half, because mules don't mine as much as they used to. But...
Wait, do you know how much they mine right now? They used to mine like 300. Has that changed?
I think it was like 240. It depends. If you drop it on a close mineral patch, I think it's supposed to be somewhere around 240 over 90 seconds. But they will mine 25 less than they're supposed to if you call them down onto a close patch, because they are almost guaranteed to die carrying their last load.
Right.
Which is why you see a lot of players micro them off. If you deliberately drop your mule, if you drop it in front of the mineral patch that doesn't auto mine, and then you click to make it mine, that 1.5 second delay will make it die before it can finish mining the last one, so you don't lose the resources.
So that's like preemptive micro, if you will.
Yeah. It's still not fun to do, but...
It's not fun to do, but it's... if you know that for a fact, and that's what's going to happen, then it's probably better because usually you have more time in the early game rather than, you know, you don't know what's gonna be going on later.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
But as I said, that's one of the reasons why, like, if you're a Terran player and you can force a weird game where you're both on one base for a bit, that's always better for you because you might still have the slower worker ramp up, but it doesn't hurt you as bad when there's less mineral patches available.
Right.
So.
Because the mules will mine on top of the SCVs.
Exactly. And that was one of the reasons why that proxy meta was very good, because it was an easy way to force an even economy. If the Protoss goes Cybernetics core first, that's a huge economic win for a macro Terran. Unless, of course, you die to a cheese.
Fantastic. Thank you for this bath of knowledge, Nathaniel. I have learned much about the matchup today.
Yeah, TvP is pretty fun. My favorite thing in Terran vs. Protoss in the last like 6 months to a year has been the evolution of Raven usage, because it is the answer to most like Terran whining, is Ravens, good Raven control.
Okay.
The mass charge lot stuff, I hate it, but a Dorito cannon in the middle of mass charge lots, like I said, yeah, no, the game turns into Lawler skates.
Do you usually the Dorito cannon as the Zealots are charging in so that they cannot
No,
disengage?
the thing about Zealots is they can't blink, so where you're telling the Protoss that they have to recognize that the Dorito cannon's coming in and they have to split, which, well, you might say that's not that hard to do. Protoss players aren't used to splitting units like
I mean,
that.
they're kind of slow too, the Zealots, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, with charge they're not as slow, but the Protoss
they don't split with charge, right?
The Protoss isn't used to having to do that sort of micro, right?
I guess. I don't
how
know
often do you have to scatter your Zealots?
This is, I'm sorry, this is a Terran
saying.
thing, Nathaniel.
I'm just saying.
Terrans think that they can micro their units so much better than other races because they play Terran, but it's
Do you disagree?
No, I half agree, okay?
Okay.
Terran units are more microable, is the thing.
Yeah. Well, it's not that it's more microable. It's just that you're not used to trying to split your Zealots in the middle of your army like that. No.
No, Terran units are more microable. They're like faster. You stim, you split. That's, yeah.
I think you understand what I'm trying to say.
I
This Colossus doesn't have range, but it does have a shield battery. So it's going to live.
Good shot. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, the second drop in the main, though, is going to bend a little bit.
He lost almost that whole entire army up there, by the way. And,
that is rough.
Goodbye, Widow Mine. Don't lose. No.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Okay.
Closer than it looked.
Good observer coverage by Drogo. His map vision is really nice right now.
Yeah, he's excellent at that. He's a very methodical player. He always, you know, he kind of plans out the game ahead and has reasons for doing everything that he does. He's the type of player that I think will continue to improve because his method is so iterative.
Yeah. Drogo's playing really well today. I like what I'm seeing. The fact that he killed so much bio without losing that Colossus was really nice. He's killed 7 Marines, 2 Marauders, 4 Mines. He's lost a Zealot and 3 Stalkers. The Sentry, I'm going to call it a wash because he still has 2 and he shouldn't really need to build any more this game.
Okay.
I like it. I like his position.
I feel like sentries are so good against or with Colossus though in conjunction. You
Yeah.
don't? Okay. So you think that there's a little bit more value because of the Colossus to the sentry, or?
I just think that he was able to force a commitment that didn't really pay for anything because he could have killed all the sentries, but he dove on the Colossus, and both sentries I think are actually hurt, and they both of them have hit point damage, and the only reason they didn't die is because he tried to right click on that Colossus. Now this is a big army, but there's 3 Colossi with range now. I think charge not being done makes this a bit Sweatstony, but other than that. He's moving towards the north side too, and the 4th is in the middle, so this is actually still really good for Drogo because he's just defending an already defended position.
And to your point, without the sentries, this will be considerably scarier, I think, for Drogo until charge kicks in.
Yeah.
But as is, Big Gabe has been posturing for a while, not really moving. His army's not growing, so you have to imagine he's not looking to move in anymore.
This is a bit dangerous to walk down this ramp, but he's not afraid. Pops the Guardian Shield, eats that Widow Mine shot.
Even with a blink.
Yes.
Confident blink.
The fact that he's doing it without charge is the only thing that makes me nervous, because charge Zealots are like one of the best tools.
It's almost done. Oh, this was a little monkas.
Yeah, I'm not sure that you want to be rebuilding Stalkers this much, but he's maybe decided that Blink Stalker Colossus is his play. No, okay, there's the Zealots. I was going to say, you want that charge. He doesn't have +1 armor yet either, which I think is really big for the Zealots. But he could do something. He could do a lot here because the Viking count has not grown that much yet. He's building 4 at a time. So the sooner he hits, the better, because the Viking count won't be that big. And he does have a lot of Stalkers. Oh, wow, he's got High Templar now as well. Yeah, he's just going to throw some Archons in here.
Yeah, this is nifty. And I really like, by the way, the decision-making from Drogo here, because it's so difficult to decide to move out when your opponent looks like he wants to move in.
That focus fire on the Vikings, by the way. That one Colossus got so low. Still standing. This is perfect. He forced so many SCVs to get pulled here, too.
Like a lot.
Just don't pull back that one Colossus.
Yes,
okay, well, still one alive. Another Zealot wave starts.
They're a little bit trapped. Need to blink one Stalker. Okay. Or all of them.
Got to focus on those Vikings. It might not matter. I do think so with 2-2 finishing soon. If these Zealots had like +2 armor, it's obviously it just comes down to the choice, but like his +2 attack is going to finish now that the push is mostly done, right? And that's one of those things that gets weird. Trying to end this with gateway units, I think, is extremely bold, but he's going to go for it. Vikings are going to land. Those are very good against the Stalkers, but really just comes down to how much the Zealots can do. And thus far, they're doing it, cats.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great killer instinct from Drogo. Only medivacs left pretty much, and at this point, he's forced to tap out.
Drogo puts on the captain's hat and perches himself very comfortably on the top of HeroMarine's yacht. Very well done.
Petite is small in French, yeah?
Yes.
Do you know what big is?
Oh, I know this one.
Oh.
Trejos.
Trejos Drogo.
I think, yeah.
Does he know Trejos Drogo?
That's what Funka told me. I was asking him, I was talking to him about like bread and stuff. Yeah.
Of course you were.
Trejos Drogo, big dragon, I think.
Oh, Drogo's dragon?
Yeah.
Well, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, because that was his whole thing. He's like little dragon. And then he's like, if I win a GSL, I want to become regular Drogo. But then it's like a branding.
But if you be big game, you kind of skip over that.
It's a
GSL.
branding thing, you know. It's like, well, I've already got the Twitter handle Ptitdrogo, and it's like, you know, it's one of those. One of those things. We're going to take a look at our results. So, wow, oh my goodness, Ptitdrogo makes it out of the group in first place. What a shocker. And he does very well, but that does mean you guys get more Terran action in this group of Protoss as HeroMarine will go to our final match against DNS coming up next.
Yeah, and I bet they're going to be talking now, Drogo and DNS.
We'll see you on the other side.